All right, it's 2:02 p.m. So good afternoon, everybody. So welcome to the Workflow Part 1 webinar. This is the first part of two. So next month in November, we will do the part two. So today it will be like a high-level overview of what's new inside the Stack and SmartUse product for workflow. So I'm Dominic. So I'm the SmartUse founder, now Stack Build and Operate. Maybe you saw the last week and this week communication about the rebranding. So basically, SmartUse joined Stack back in 2021, and now we are using the new brandings for Stack Build and Operate. So I found SmartUse back in 2012, and I'm still working with Stack as a advisor for the old SmartUse product. So I'm building and working with Bruno, uh, which is our specialist trainers and implementation software in the construction fields for many years. So Bruno is working with us since many years, and he is the one that work with our customers to build workflow and see how we can integrate the product in your business workflow. Housekeeping. So basically, participants will be in listens only mode during the discussions. So you can use the Q&A button, right? If you have any questions, so just go there, ask questions. If there is, if we can answer the question now, maybe Bruno will be able to do it now, or it will be at the end of the sessions. So we have pretty much 25, 30 minutes together. If we have any questions, we can extend by 5 minutes. All registered participants will receive a recording by email. So even if you were not able to join us for that webinar and you sign up, you will receive all the sessions by email. So that's good. Agenda. I will let Bruno explain what exactly we will see today.
Thank you, Dominic. So the idea today, we're going to do a quick overview of what are workflows. It all boils down to centralizing your information within SmartUse. I'm going to get used to Stack, Build, and Operate with a new branding, but we'll keep calling it SmartUse for today. So the idea of workflows is to track tasks by assignee and statuses. So we have multiple, it can be used for multiple internal processes that you want to keep an eye on, collaborate, share the information, make sure it's available to the right person at the right time. So that's the general idea. And to showcase how we can use workflows, I'm going to jump right into the app and create an RFI that we will then manage as a project manager, making sure we get the information needed and circle back to the team out in the field. And we'll finish with the reports and notification and an overview of the settings available in your project settings, so on the web portal. So without further ado, let me share my iPad here. Will just take me a second here. All right. So before jumping right into it, allow me to mention that workflows are currently available on iPads, iPhones, and on the web portal. You will see all the same features from one to the other. It's the user interface that is slightly different from one device to the other. That's where we started. once we bring the features forward and we keep enhancing this quite young feature, we will consider developing it and making it available on Android and potentially Windows app as well. So we're looking at a plan here. As we can see, we're referencing a template for dowels placement on a structural plan. And my worker here realizes that we don't have that template. It's not uploaded, it's not available anywhere else. It's nowhere to be found. So what I'm gonna do here, I already have my markups. I want to leave it as is. I added the markups the same way I would mark up any plans. I'm going to click on share at the top right of my screen. And I'm going to choose my current view. Now I have multiple options on iPad. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to simply save the image as is. I'm also taking a note here that we're referencing our plan S105, as we can see at the top of the screen. I'm going to click back and open my hamburger menu, which is the 3 lines at the top left of the screen. If I open it, we now have our workflows that we're going to see here. Right now, the only workflow that is activated for that project is RFIs. So I'm going to click RFIs. I'm going to find a list of the currently open RFIs that are available for me. And what I want to do is click the little plus button at the top right to create a new RFI. So we're looking at the form. When I'm out in the field, I want to keep it simple. So maybe I'm just going to fill in the blanks here and keep it really simple. Saying see photo. So I could fill in the blanks here. A reference number wouldn't be, I probably don't have one just yet. Is there a due date? Do I want to assign it to my project manager? I could, definitely. But again, the idea being time being of the essence here. I just want to document it as simply as possible. So I'm going to scroll all the way back down, all the way down and upload a photo here. And I will find my photo here. And it's attached already. And I'll just go one extra step and link my structural document I'm referencing here and click link. That's it. Now, if I click back, my RFI is created and I can move on with my day. I'm going to stop sharing my iPad for a second and start sharing my web portal and look at that part of the process as a project manager, for example. All right, so I'm in the same project right here, and I can see on the left menu, I have my RFIs. If I click it, I'm gonna find the same list I was seeing before on the iPad, and this is what I'm looking at here. We have the same RFI that is now available here. So as a project manager, now I'm going to fill in the blanks. Is that good enough as a title? So maybe I want to rewrite it, make it clearer. So document missing. I could add a description, add more information. Those are free text fields that I can fill in based on what I need to make it as clear as possible for my professional. If I keep scrolling down and keep my attention on the right side here, I'll look at the assignee field. I can multi-select. So if my professionals have been added to SmartUse, I could simply go right ahead and assign my professional and change the status. My professional will receive a notification and open SmartUse and provide a document. In our case here, let's say that I'm project manager and Dom is my assistant project manager. We're both working with professionals. So let's assign that RFI to both of us, and we'll pretend that our professionals are not working within SmartUse. So that part of the communication will be done outside of SmartUse. Let's give ourselves a due date to make sure that if I don't have an answer by, let's say, next Wednesday, then I can follow up and here. I'll keep moving down the form here. We have that brand new field that has been added a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, I think. So I can assign a discipline to my RFI, so it will help me filter those once I have multiple RFIs and I want to keep track, so I can easily filter those. So that RFI, our example here, is clearly structural. So I'm going to assign it here. It was raised by John. That the user that I used to create the RFI, I could reassign it, especially during transition period. If John would have given me a call saying, where's that template? Look at plan S105 and would provide me the information or provide me his question by phone, I could make sure that he's the one raising the question. He's the one expecting an answer. So I'll make sure this is the user we have here. It might not be the best example for an RFI, but as we've established earlier, there's multiple internal processes that can be tracked and followed using workflows. And some of those processes, if I'm thinking about a change order, for example, might have a cost impact and a schedule impact as well. So I could go ahead and document it right here. In our example, it doesn't have much of an impact here. So I have all my information here. I'll just acknowledge that the ball is in my court right now. I'll put it in progress. Once my RFI is fully documented, if I'm working outside of SmartUse with my professionals, I could simply go ahead and generate a PDF report. Once it's generated, I can download it, and we're going to have an example here of what it looks like. And just move it around. We'll have a cover page, or what could be used as a cover page, with a very clean header with all the information here that I've documented in my RFI. We also have the photos here, and attached, sorry, attached is the document, my S105 plan right here. So I can send it all together to my professional. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about, what's my question related to. And in addition with the photo with the markups and the plans, they should be able to provide me with an answer in a timely manner. Back to the web portal. So let's say I send it out by email all changes status. It's now awaiting response. If I go back to what I would call my dashboard for my RFIs, I'll have all the open RFIs, everything that is related to that project. I'll find it right here. I can actually go ahead and move it around so it makes sense to me. If I go back to the column right here, I can choose to show or hide all the fields, and it will also allow me to filter by those. So let me just add the disciplines here. So I'll close it, and I have my disciplines here. Oops. Sorry about that. I misclicked here. So let's move the disciplines to the left. Here, so I could go ahead and filter. If I want to focus only on my structural RFIs here, will filter as expected. So if I go back to empty that filter, we're back to a clear overview. All the changes that I've done in my dashboard, I can actually go ahead and save my view as. I may have a different view for my day-to-day keeping track and staying on top of things. There might be one view, and maybe we have a weekly meeting where we go over all the RFIs, and it would be better for me to have a different display. So I can actually go ahead and save my view as is. Let's call it daily RFI tracking here. I'll click save, and then I can move things around. I can order by due date. So using the same as before, after, between. So all those columns will have an ordering features available here. So if I want to take everything that is under my name, I could just click my items here, or see what me and Dom have assigned. What's assigned to us? I can have a very quick overview. We can also go one step further here, and I can actually generate an Excel spreadsheet of all the fields for all my RFIs, and I might want to get a total of all my cost impact for, right now we're looking at RFIs. I might want to see what I have out for all my change orders in terms of cost impact. If I want to get a total of that, I'll just export in Excel and do a sum of the right column. So this is basically the generic idea here. I've moved stuff around, added filters. I can come back to my view by simply clicking it again, and I'm back to the view that I've edited and saved initially. If we move to our settings now, it will help us get a better context of, now we had a good example with RFIs. If we move to the workflows tab, we're going to see that we've preceded a few workflows here for you, meaning RFIs, potential change orders, and change orders, shop drawings, submittals, and tasks. But we could also go ahead and create our own custom workflows that will match our internal processes. So I'll just open this one real quick, so we get a bit of a view of what's available here. And on those custom configurable workflows, I can actually go ahead and remove a status here, for example, let's say on hold, I want it to be my last option or second to last option available in my drop-down menu. I can simply move it around. If I say completed, instead of completed, I want it to say accepted. Sure, why not here? And I can go ahead and change. I can also change the color of the status so it makes more sense to me. Orange, I find it a bit dramatic. Yeah, I'll change it to blue, which is better, makes more sense to me. So we can create those statuses, very intuitive, very straightforward, and I'll have the ability to do the exact same thing for our priorities if I want to manage different tasks based on priorities. I'll have the exact same options available here. So that's an overview of the workflows. If I circle back to those default workflows, I'll just open it real quick. What you see is what you get. Those are the statuses that were suggested. If, for example, my internal process on how I manage my RFIs is slightly different than what I'm seeing here, I can deactivate this one and create a custom one that will be closer to my internal processes here. So all I can do here is change the workflow prefix. So what will come before our numbering pattern here. What will change from one workflow type to another is simply the name and the statuses. If I look at RFIs here, we have our list of status, and they will be completely different if I open our potential change orders, for example. But the principle will remain the same. We'll look at the exact same form. It's only the statuses and the assignees that will change, and that's how we're going to go through one process over the other. Now, a big part of workflows will also look at notification. I'll just collapse here our issues notification, and based on what's open, I can actually manage by workflows what type of action will generate an email notification. So by default, they're all activated. If, for example, as the assignee, I don't want to receive a notification when we change the due date, I can simply deactivate it right here. Yeah, I don't mind losing those changes. So to summarize, we have multiple workflows types. We'll look basically at the same form. It's your internal process and those milestones that you want to hit and document that will make the difference between one workflows type to another. There's very flexible settings available to make sure you're as close as possible to your internal process. And that's definitely something we can help you work if needed. So that summarizes it. That's basically at high level how workflows work. Dom, did we have any questions?
Yep, we have a couple of questions that just came. My users ask why I don't see and don't have access. It seems that they don't have access to that feature. Is there any reason?
Yeah, well, what I would expect is daily report and workflows to have a little teal Pro mentioned on the web portal. This is something that needs to be activated with your account manager. The other reason I can think of, and well, maybe just close that that question here. If you contact your account manager, they will definitely look into it with you. And if you don't know who's your account manager, at the bottom left of the screen here, you have the chat. We have our tech support that is going to take your request here and make sure you're being called back by the right person. And the other possibility, we'll keep in mind that those features are available on the web portal, iPad and iPhones only. So if you're looking at the menu on the Android device, it's not available just yet.
Good. Another question: is there any way to attach some kind of markups to and create an RFI from there on the mobile app? Because yep, that's the question.
To attach a markup, if you're referencing to drop a pin on a plan, so that's where the RFI is coming from, or that's where that's the location on the plan. That's very high on the list of features improvement. So right now, if that's a feature that would be beneficial to you, please add weight to this feature request. You can either leave feedback when you're looking at a workflow page here. You have leave feedback. That's a direct communication feed with our product team, or you can actually open your menu here and fill in a feature request. But I love that request. It's something that we've seen a few ideas. We've received that feedback already, and we actually saw a preview of what kind of design we were looking at. So I wouldn't be surprised if we'll be made available sooner than later, even though it's a bit early to commit on a date just yet.
Good. Another question that just came: so can someone external that don't have access to SmartUse can participate in a workflow?
That's a very interesting question. There's different way we want to tackle that kind of outside of SmartUse collaboration. As of today, we would need a user to be created in SmartUse in order to collaborate. If I'm thinking about a trade worker that is working with me, but that is outside of my organization, they would need a user for me to assign a task or a workflow to that person. But very interesting question. That's definitely something that is being discussed internally at the moment.
All right, good. I think that was the last question. Thank you very much, Bruno. So I will again just share my screen. So now let me just share here. So additional resources. So basically, as a participant, if you want to see that recording, you will receive it by email really soon. So if you registered and you didn't have the chance to come in to that session, so you will receive an email, like I said. You will still have access to the chat, so ask any question there. If you don't know who is your account manager to activate that feature on your account, just go to the chat, ask them, and they will notify your account manager to contact you as soon as possible. You still have access to the trainings items on our website, so you can just go there and you can look at that. We build a mini trainings article and videos, so just go there and you have a lot of the resources there. Stay tuned for the next month's Tech Live in November. It will be part 2 of that specific workflow feature. It's a big one. It's a feature that we are improving on a monthly basis. So you will see a couple of new feature and more deep item like history and yeah, so new stuff next month. Thank you very much to join us this afternoon or morning if you are on the West. So thank you and see you in the next month.